Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops, the great millstone, even the elders that came before them. They taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful like tabernacle of David. And the elder Yashawan. Shalom and salutation to you all. They're gonna go with the fallen angel hoax. So that's what we're gonna call this lesson. The fallen angel hoax. All right. And how do you defeat the fallen angel hoax in a nutshell? Okay. So how you do it is angels don't have sex. Okay. The fallen angel, the sons of God, right? The sons of God went in unto the daughters of women and da-da-da-da. Okay, you got to understand that. Anyway, they're going to go with the fallen angel hoax. So we're watching that be set up right now with David Wilcock. What David Wilcock does is he shows you a lot of what they've been doing, but the moment that they go into the fallen angel hoax, right? That's the swindle. So don't get taken, all right? Know who the sons of God are, who those angels are, right? Who the fallen angels are. They're going with the fallen angel hoax, all right? So let's break it down in a nutshell, all right? First, we're going to watch a little bit of this. So this is God Rulers. I'm Tony, your boy Tony here. It was like yesterday, 11 hours ago. It says, full panic. They're in full panic after David Icke's secret interview reveals the truth behind disappearances. Okay. Now they're going to go into Looking Glass and all of this stuff. So they're bringing out a whole lot of information, right? On Looking Glass and Contact and the movies and all of this stuff, right? That they're trickling out. They're using Wilcock to trickle out some of this technology, right? As they weave together what story? The fallen angel hoax. Okay. The sons of God had sex with women and they had fallen angels, and this is all a hoax. Even Wilcock does all of this brainiac. I'm Edgar Casey's double, but then at the end, the fallen angel hoax. All right. So let's start right here. It's right here. Is Matthew 24? So let me go back. Matthew 24 and what? 4, right? Right here. Okay, so let's start right here. What did Yahushua say? Look, dude, don't be deceived. Don't let anyone mislead you. This is Matthew 24 and 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. Take heed lest any man lead you astray. Deceive you, lead you astray. Okay? Lead you into error. All right? And that's what this is. Oh, the sons of God had sex with women. Okay? So, all right. Again, let's watch a little bit of this. Don't be deceived. Start here. Here's how you break down, right, what they're doing, which is called the fallen angel hoax.
So the 52,000-year ones are the grays, and they're supposed to be the ones on a certain timeline, and the P-47s are on a different timeline.
Okay, so they're talking about aliens. The first thing you got to notice about these aliens that they're talking about is that they're white. Oh, the grays are white. And then the Nordic, they're white, right? So that's the first deception. Well, these aliens, guess what? These aliens, they're white. Why? Well, the grays. Really, that's not what the scriptures say. The ones in the ships, never once does it say that they're the Greys or that they're the Nordics or any of that. So this is a made up story already. Oh, the Greys. Where's that in the scriptures? Because anytime anybody is flying a spaceship in the scriptures, which there are, they got dark brown skin. Okay? But what is this? This is the first deception. What did Yahushua say? Watch out that no man deceive you. So immediately, they're putting in your mind, present to 47,000 years, present to 5,200 years theory. This is where the white man goes all the way into the future. No, he doesn't. The Greys, this is us, right, coming back from the future. That means that the white man goes all the way. The Nordics, see, look at the language. The Nordics. First of all, when you look back on that word Nordic, it goes back to Jake. First of all. But what they're doing is they're claiming to be white. Who are the Greys? The Greys are white, right? That's what they're pushing. The ones flying these things look like us. No, they don't. Okay? So understand that first. We're going to look at these things and break them down.
And they all came back into our past to stop this cataclysm from going the wrong direction. This is the alleged story of how it's supposed to work. Now, yeah, it was Dan. Who did I say it was earlier? It was Dan Bursch who came up with this back in like 2000 something, before 2012. And was saying we're trying to avoid a catastrophe in 2012.
No, they're coming back and they're abducting human beings because they need their DNA. Stupid. Well, the fallen angels need your DNA because they're dying. Some bullshit, man.
Okay, now getting over to what I think it is, what David Wilcox, the other scientist who died, was saying. Okay, so I think the reason why he's gone is because he actually figured this out, or at least figured out a lot of it. And it has to do with Project Looking Glass. Very interestingly, he gave this presentation in a Hilton hotel. Is it the same one? I don't know if it's the same one or not, where recently our president almost, of course, died. And then there was this account, which we talked about before, that went viral, where it had one tweet on the entire account for Cole, of course, Allen, who is the person who tried to take, of course, a president out. And this picture here allegedly shows what happened to our president a little over a year, a year and a half ago, where he almost lost, his life back then. And it's a picture from a year in advance. So they're saying that it was somehow he knew the future, or time travel, or perhaps this looking glass thing. Anyway, let's just play this clip here from David Wilcock.
Salakia. Now, what they're not saying about Looking Glass is what that woman came on and said about how they're scared that they can't control it. And what it's showing.
Yesterday and today is the very first public unveiling in a public presentation of Project Looking Glass. A human being is about this tall. This is built in underground bases. It is colossal in size. And what happens is when you fire this thing up, these rings start going in all different directions. It shields off the barrel of water inside, which is just like your pineal gland. The water inside flips over into time-space, which then captures argon gas, captures visual images, and this is what it looks like. It becomes huge, glowing, all the way out to these posts, which are used as stabilizers for the energy field. Now, it doesn't start out with an image of the Earth. That's just there as a placeholder, although you could see the whole Earth like that if you wanted to. That's not usually what happens. Well, contact, right? We have been given the technology right in front of our faces in the movies. They just don't tell you what it's for. In what? 13 Ghosts? Well, thank you. I'll have to check that one out. Doesn't sound like a movie I'd want to see, but if it's for that, oh, I can imagine.
Message.
So contact, just to recap from yesterday, blueprints come in from the Vegans, from Vega. They figure out that it's only when you fold up these patterns into a cube, which forms what there in the center, the triangle with the eye in the middle, as it folds up, cube geometry. That's when you can decode the plans.
Okay, so he said vegan. It came from the vegans, right? And apparently you have the Orions and Zetas and the vegans, I think. So it's actually tied into that. I'll just keep playing.
Build this, these rings, which becomes this machine. And there's your little helicopter. There's another shot of it. They got computer animations of how it's going to work with the different rings moving. This actually looks like the fisheye lens distortion effect that happens around the looking glass when you power it on. There's a gantry crane up at the top, and the little guy is dropped down and goes inside. That's like your barrel inside the mechanism there. And this is where all the action happens. This is where the Stargate opens, the wormhole into the higher realms. In this frame, we're seeing how the whole thing collapsed and fell apart. So, of course, you want to take a ride. You know, the new...
So you can see he already covered a lot of this, and he was getting into what it was all about and how it's something of a deception as well.
Down inside, this is the chamber and the chair inside, which we'll see is very important. And here's your geometry. Look at that. Did anybody notice that when you were watching the movie? Because it goes by pretty fast. That's that same geometry that's in the background radiation of the whole universe with the sphere in the center. They fire it up. Guess what happens? Big, bright luminosity, just like the real thing. The real thing that they're actually using and have been using since the 40s at least. And here's what it looked like from the control room. It gets brighter and brighter, and she starts having the floor disappear. She gets dropped down inside, and then, of course, she goes through this wild wormhole ride, and there's an ascension experience at the end of the dream. The Iraq War had, to a large degree, the mission of capturing a looking glass technology that was dug up in Sumer, which was originally in the possession of Gaddafi in Libya, which is why they attacked Libya. Gaddafi got rid of it and gave it to Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein was using this technology, viewing the future. The U.S. government went in after him because they felt that the fate of the world was at stake, because if they did not capture this technology and get it back and deconstruct it, that the earth would have a pole shift.
Oops. Where's that in the scripture? Here goes the devil.
But when you actually decipher these letters, it means the doctrine of the convergent timeline paradox. Here's the problem. You look through time with this device, and when you hit 2012, everything goes perfectly white. As you get closer and closer to 2012, starting in around 1980, a very strange thing has been happening when they use the looking glass. There is an interlacing of images.
So basically what's going on is they'll have images of what's going to happen in the future, and they'll have some other image that's like a placeholder image, and it's like a frequency, and it's getting faster and faster as it gets closer to 2012 to where
Listen to this idiot. Listen to these idiots.
Couldn't even read it anymore, and that's why they had to stop using it right before 2012, and now we're on. So I actually have a theory as to why that happened. I think it has to do with God. I think God was basically saying, no, you can't use this to figure out the future after 2012, because we're going into God's timeline now, no longer the devil. So the devil is trying to obtain his timeline.
That's correct.
We've been under the devil's timeline for...
That's correct. It was not the devil's timeline. It was all the Most High's timeline. Okay? Now, what devil has been given? Let's get that real quick. But very interesting. Let's get Job. Let's get the devil. See, he doesn't understand that he's the devil. Now, Tony, oh no, I think Tony's the devil. I think Tony may be the devil, but okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He might be a Jake, but god dang it, he looked like the devil to me. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, the devil. Who's the wicked? Esau is the wicked, the devil. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not, where and who is he? So we know what we're talking about over here, Tony, and you don't. But you're partially right, but you don't know what you're saying.
500 plus years. And I've covered this whole thing before from the book of Esther.
See,
we've been under the devil's timeline for 500 plus years.
Correct. Now, who is that devil? Esau. Okay. Now he's going to break things down into 500-year increments where he's going wrong.
And I've covered this whole thing before from the book of Esther, how the last chapter was removed. Matter of fact, my researcher told me, no, it's not just the first chapter of book of Esther. The last chapter was removed.
See, here he goes.
They removed part of the first chapter and the last chapter of book of Esther.
That he knows
now, ask yourself, if the book of Esther inspired entering into God's age again.
Here he goes. Okay, so that's where the confusion comes in. Okay, I'm trying to get this guy to go into the fallen angels, so bear with me. Let's see what he says.
Wants to have another 500 years, but I believe it's going to be denied. I'm just tying all this stuff together from all my research. You have here Stephen Greer. Warns that rogue actors inside the GOV are now on the verge of staging a fake, alien invasion across the entire planet. This makes perfect sense because the devil obviously is not going to give up. He wants full control for 500 more years.
Okay, he was given a short season, which is 500 years, but a full age is 1,000 years. Okay, get that straight. He's working on 500-year.
And I believe he's going to be completely and utterly denied. We're going to see a lot of strange things, I think, this year, next year, as a result of this, that will just be unexplained.
So he doesn't understand what is about to happen as far as Yahushua coming back and setting up the 1,000-year reign, which goes into infinity. Okay, first 1,000 years of this devil being in hostage, and then you're going to open it up into immortality, if you will.
I don't think people are going to be able to just say they're atheist anymore in a few years. It's going to become so obvious that there's weird things going on.
Okay, they're going to be like, please excuse Tony here because I'm trying to maneuver around Tony. Tony put some good information up, and I'm trying to get to it. So bear with me. Let me get to it. About Looking Glass, right? That hasn't been shown yet or noised about.
Into believing this alien thing, right? Because you're at that point, you don't believe in anything other than that. Because, oh, look, science. Oh, science is UFOs, aliens, Star Trek, So they want you to kind of fall for this. It's kind of the idea.
Here we go.
Now you have here David Wilcox, and we're going to get into...
Now here we go with the fallen angel situation. See, Wilcox does all of this baiting and baiting and baiting. He bring you in with the technology, and he knows, and he's Edgar Cayce, and he knows, and then he goes into Yahushua, and everything is Yahushua and the Tetrahedron, but then suddenly out of nowhere, then angels are having sex. And angels don't have sex, so I'm trying to get there. Let me see what they're going to say.
It's a really important part of the video where they're going to try to essentially say that Jesus never resurrected. Now ask yourself why David Wilcock. I've been warning of this over the years. Watch my other Wilcock videos on my page to understand the connection. He knew many UFO people are in this. Famous preachers signed NDAs to deceive you into the lie. It's interesting because I've even seen astronauts say that these aliens are not, they're demons. I saw one recently on Glenn Beck saying that. I've seen high-level guys in the government say that that's what they are. Let's just check out this video here. So you can see here, ancient Egypt bombshell, Jesus Christ body found. So there's actually articles that came out like about a week or two ago. I'll show you that in a second here. Let's play this real quick.
Allegedly found the body of Jesus? You guys have no idea how deep this goes, but I'm about to expose their whole plan. We are about to step into the great deception of our era and our time, because this actually allegedly goes back a few decades. So, Jesus Christ's body found in a hidden chamber claims expert? So fact check, hear me. The Express for the UK and the Daily Star are both alleging the same exact thing that may be discovered here shortly under this thing behind me. Now this gets very wild right here. There's people that allegedly took part in Project Looking Glass. And these people, some of these people are actually on record, on video, saying that a great deception's coming where these new great finds are going to happen and it's going to shake up religion altogether. And all of a sudden, people are not going to believe in their religion no more.
Very interesting, because this was also prophesied by a Christian, by Mark Taylor. But it's going to be different than what the devil wanted. I think the devil wanted to shake up all the religions so everyone loses faith, and then he'll posit his religion, which will be through these aliens. Okay? And also, he'll tie it into these ancient things like Prometheus and stuff like that. So, there was actually a Christian prophet who's actually predicted a number of things correctly. He predicted Donald Trump. He predicted a number of things correctly. He predicted Roe, v. Wade be overturned about 5-10 years before it happened. He said it would go to the states. They exactly went just like he said. He predicted a lot of stuff correctly. And he's also predicting that there will be this major find, and I believe it has to do with ancient texts and stuff like that. Now, when this find is discovered, it's going to show that there's a lot of corruption and evil behind and deception behind a lot of the religions of the world, including a lot of Christian leadership having some sort of in on this deception as well. And this is going to shake up a lot of the religions, but there's going to be 1 billion souls that get saved for Christ through this, according to this prophet. While the devil wants the exact opposite. He wants all these religions shook up, and then everyone turns away from all of them completely. You see what I mean? That's the difference. So the devil wants to use it for something else.
You're the devil.
Sounds like
I want to see this. So
if you
Salaki, this is what I'm trying to get to. So, bear with.
sounds like a deception. What's this behind me? This is the movie 13 Ghosts. What is this contraption right here? You got it. That's how the looking glass machinery allegedly looked.
So we will be watching 13 Ghosts.
You can find detailed blueprints,
Lord willing.
stuff online. Project Looking Glass, Operation Looking Glass was allegedly, people in the U.S. trying to look into the future by creating crazy machinery. But this gets insane, because remember how this looks, right? A whole bunch of disc wheels spinning within each other, much like the Angel, I believe it's Orifim, and much like that right behind me. Is it possible that Project Looking Glass was actually trying to play off things that we do for inventions when we look at
So this is interesting. Obviously, all these movies highlighting this invention that they've had for a long time. And some are saying our president has this actual technology I've talked about, Nikola Tesla. I believe he's the one who actually created this or discovered this in one of his experiments back in like 1890 something. He actually was on record in an interview talking to the lady on how he was able to see the future accidentally. He accidentally discovered this when he got shocked during one of his own experiments. And supposedly he invented looking glass. And then, of course, now they kind of got rid of all his works, right? They put it in some place you can't read it, unlike every other scientist, right?
After Trump stole it.
Einstein, you can go read all his stuff. They always exalt Einstein. Nikola Tesla kind of buried it in the sands of time.
After Trump stole it.
And apparently our president's uncle is the one who actually
stole it.
Was commissioned to go through all of Nikola Tesla's personal
and steal his shit
effects after he died. So, I don't know. Could there be something there? I mean, this thing right here in his office looks just like it as well. And there's that weird connection with what recently happened at that Hilton.
And Barron and the time travel and all of that. So, what's this devil up to?
What was it? Correspondence dinner or whatever it was called. Then we got this here, ancient Egypt bombshell as Jesus Christ's body found in hidden chamber, claims expert British.
Here they go. So, if this devil is doing all this time traveling like he says, right? Listen to what he's saying. He's doing all this time travel, which he may be doing, right? But what else are they saying? Well, 2012, all they could see is bright light, and they can't see nothing no more. Right? What else did they see? They saw their ass in shackles. And then it stopped. Okay, so they saw all of that. Now they know. Donald Trump knows. If you did, Barron Trump, right? You don't know, okay, because they've been projecting this for a long time, okay? If you don't know about this stuff, you should. Well, I heard that King James Online is back on. Let's see. Barron Trump time traveler. Okay. Barron Trump time. Look at this. 1 day ago, where's this thing going? 2 days. Lord Trump tries to shut down time. Okay, so look, this just but the spirit. Okay. Now, that little frog goes back to the dude's name and the Negro that Barron Trump time traveler. What is that? Where's this thing going? It goes back to Tesla. It goes back to Looking Glass. Does it not? 8 years. Barron Trump time travel conspiracy. Where does it go? Okay. Well, right now, it's here. Look at this. Okay. I'm going to have to get this. What's this about? What is Barron Trump time travel about? Let's go back. Okay, now, who got Tesla's stuff? The Trump family. All right. So, what does Trump know? What does he not know? Okay. I sure saw that fool on Soul Train twerking his body as if his life depended on it. He was trying to be a Jake so hard, and you know you hate Jake. Anyway, let me see.
Anthropologist Dr. Paul Warner claims to have found the body of Jesus Christ in the Ark of the Covenant in a hidden double cave.
Okay, so we know what this is. This is more of the fallen angel, a cunningly devised fable. The scripture even tells you if it's found in a hidden chamber, don't believe it. It goes into great detail.
Under the Great Pyramid of Egypt. Of course, he's claiming he found it, but he actually hasn't got into it. He just found it somehow. He knows it's there. He says he knows it's there. Groundbreaking research claims the final resting place of Jesus Christ in the Ark of the Covenant may lie within the Great.
How? Gotta know his name. If you found what you're talking about, why are you using this name? Because that name wasn't around when they did all of this. So what name did you find it under? Wasn't this? Oh, we found this name in here. No, you didn't. That's a lie. Okay? Because this name is modern. What historical name and what language did you find this name? If you found the final resting place and the Ark of the Covenant, what language did you find it in? Was it an ancient Hamite, Ramses, what do you call it? Cuneiform? What the hell did they have over there? Hieroglyphics, nigga. Is it written in fucking hieroglyphics? From the dynasty of Ramesses II? And it says this name? That's so fucking stupid. See how names mean something? No, this name in the Hebrew tongue. How about that? How about this name in the Hebrew tongue? That's the name. See? So is it in the Hebrew tongue up in here? And what is it? If it's in the Hebrew tongue, right? Gotta get it. So, Lucky, I'm gonna go ahead and close. This is very important. Here's the name. Okay. The book of Acts 26 and 14. And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking to me and saying in the Hebrew tongue, Saul, Saul. Right now, I'm not saying Saul, Saul is not the Hebrew tongue. Well, what is it? Right? Why persecutest thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And I said, who art thou, Lord? And he said, I am Yahushua, whom thou persecutest. He said his name. What? It wasn't that, because he's speaking in Hebrew tongue. And that ain't Hebrew, is it? Nope. So what does it say? Doesn't say that. That ain't the Hebrew tongue. This guy was a Hebrew Israelite. Where's his Hebrew Israelite name? Because that ain't it. Anyway, more lies.
Of Giza. British researcher Dr. Warner has stunned the archaeological world with his claim that sarcophagus of Jesus Christ in the legendary Ark of the Covenant could be hidden in a
sarcophagus? Where's that in the scriptures? That sounds like Egyptian burial to me. Sarcophagus in a pyramid. That's not our custom, is it? Could be. Those are our pyramids.
Sealed up cave deep within the Great Pyramid at Giza. After a decade of meticulous study, he shared his remarkable findings with the Egyptian Supreme Council of Antiquities, indicating these artifacts have been hidden away for millennia. This is what he's claiming. There's actually another article here as well. Right here, British anthropologist claims Jesus' tomb, Ark of the Covenant, were beneath the Great Pyramid.
The whole time.
And same exact type of thing. Obviously trying to shake up religion, trying to shake up Christianity with these claims with no actual evidence. He hasn't got in there and seen it. He just, I just know it's there. And they publish it. But there is, like I said, a prophet predicting that there is going to be a huge shakeup. But he says the huge shakeup is going to be from a bunch of ancient texts being discovered that show how they have been trying to manipulate, I guess you would say, what is the canon of Scripture, perhaps, stuff like that. We have, obviously, with the Greek Septuagint, the Dead Sea Scrolls, a lot more books in those.
The making of many.
Than you see in the common modern-day Old Testament. In the Bible, even 200 years ago, there were more books in there than there are today.
Okay, Tom. What do they call it? The as soon as you see fallen angels in anybody's doctrine and they can't explain it correct, okay? Oh, the fallen angels are white. No, they're not. The fallen angels, the fallen angels. Right? Oh, it's lucky. "9 days. David Wilcock, Fallen Angels. Okay. No fallen angels. The fallen angels are the elect of Israel, the 144,000, okay, that are down here on an undercover mission.
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order, because the global order is changing again. And the institutions and the rule that worked so well in the post-World War II era for decades, they need to be strengthened. And some have to be changed.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
There's a need for a new world order, but it has different characteristics in different parts of the world.
Never before has a new world order had to be assembled from so many different perceptions or on so global a scale. Nor has any previous order had to combine the attributes of the historic balance of power system with global democratic opinion and the exploding technology of the contemporary period.
After 1989, President Bush said, and it's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
I think its task will be to develop an overall strategy for America in this period when really a new world order can be created. It's a great opportunity. It isn't just a crisis.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind: peace and security, freedom, and the rule of law. Such is a world worthy of our struggle and worthy of our children's future.
So, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, a new world is emerging. It is a new world order with significant...
It's phony. All right? I don't know what they're doing here. They're showing these, this is all deception, by the way. Okay, what they put in your face. Let's see if there's more.
That's what's happening. And it's happening more and 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 more.
Let's see.
Will go along with everything that the New World Order is about, fully, completely, without offering any resistance whatsoever.
Yeah, see, they created this Edgar Casey thing. That's what this guy's saying. Yeah, let's see. Let's look down here. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, they created and in the end, he's selling angels having sex. So let's get that and I'll go ahead and close. So it's a lot about being unhinged, but that's a lot of information there that needs to be processed, I guess. Let's see, bodies, Terror. Bodies terrestrial, that's all you, to cut fallen angels, right? There's two different bodies. The Most High has order, okay? 1 Corinthians 15:40, there are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, but the glory of the celestial is one and the glory of the terrestrial is another. If you understand NLT, there are also bodies in the heavens and bodies on the earth. Okay? Angels, bodies in the heavens, bodies on the earth, people. The glory of the heavenly bodies is different from the glory of the earthly bodies. They don't have sex. Angels don't have sex, first of all. Okay. Now, when we get our angelic bodies, we're going to be superhumans and we will have sex and be part angels. Okay. But the angels from above, did not ever fall and come down here and have sex with women. That's bullshit. All right, and this defeats that. This cuts that. So this is all unique. Bodies terrestrial. Two completely different entities. One, first of all, is spiritual. Okay? And one is earthbound. So I'm going to go ahead and end it right there. But a whole lot of good information, if you will. See how they go in and they create these things. Oh, we're going to get this motherfucker. And it might have something to do with Edgar Casey's family. Who is Edgar Casey anyway? But a modern day Rasputin, right? Up there in the royal family. Who was Janine Pirro, or who was Nancy Reagan effing with? Who was her medium, if you will? Who was Eleanor Roosevelt's medium? Who was Hillary Clinton's medium? They're Rasputin right there on deck, part of the royal family or whatever. Jimmy Savile, who the fuck is that? And how is he part of the royal family? Sir Jimmy. All right, so anyway, we got to look at this. See, they're unveiling some of this looking glass technology that I haven't seen before. So we got to take this into consideration and then go back and put it together with it. What is it, 13 Monkeys? Is that the movie? We'll have to check that out. So with that, we pray that the elect ratified you, brother, and sister. Shalom.